Hey, what's going on, everybody? Do you want to know the top 5 places to live in Seattle without a car? Well, in this video, that's exactly what we're going to get into. What's going on, everybody? I'm Justin Gazabat, and this, living and moving to Seattle, Washington. This is the channel that gives you all the nitty-gritty details about living, moving, eating, working, sleeping, playing right here in the Emerald City, the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington. And in this video, we're gonna talk about the top 5 best places to live in Seattle without a car. So let's get right into it. So I'm gonna do this like David Letterman. For those of you that remember David Letterman's top 10, but we're only doing 5. I'm gonna start at the bottom and work our way up. We're gonna start with Columbia City. Okay, so Columbia City is a neighborhood in Seattle that has its own distinct neighborhood vibe, downtown, little coffee shops, restaurants, bars, very, very convenient and easy. And what makes it a great place to live without a car is, even though it is east of I-5, which typically comes with some trouble commuting around downtown Seattle and getting into South Lake Union and getting wherever you need to go. Well, we just built a light rail system over the last few years, and there is a Columbia City station. Not only that, but they have great express route buses. So if you're like me and you play around on Google and you try to figure out the best routes, the easiest ways to get around town, you can do the leave by, the arrive by, the this and the that, and you can figure out, hey, you can jump on that light rail and get to the airport in around 20 minutes. You can jump on that light rail and head north and go watch a Huskies game. You can jump on that light rail, and a couple stops away is South Downtown near the stadiums, and you can catch the Mariners, the Seahawks, the Sounders, all right there in South Downtown SoDo, just south of Pioneer Square. And guess what? You can get yourself to South Lake Union, the notorious neighborhood of the Amazon company, South Lake Union. They brought South Lake Union back to life many decades ago. It was a place that you would not go to on purpose, and now it is wonderful. So Columbia City, what kind of houses are you gonna find in Columbia City? Why would you wanna live there besides the bars, restaurants, and breweries, and the little shops, and the cute little downtown bit? Well, Columbia City is one of those neighborhoods that's more diverse in their housing than a lot of the other neighborhoods. You can still find single family houses, you can find townhouses. There are a few apartment buildings, not too many condos. They're building new apartments over there. But really you're gonna find older craftsman style homes and then newer townhouses. That's kind of the deal with a lot of Seattle, but some neighborhoods that we've talked about in the past, like Ballard, like Fremont, a lot more townhouses, a lot more apartment buildings. That's number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list, surprisingly, is West Seattle. And the reason West Seattle is on the list isn't because it's super convenient like Columbia City to get into downtown. It's kind of its own island. It's actually pretty difficult to get from West Seattle into South Lake Union, if that's what you gotta do. If you gotta do that hybrid commute or that full commute or whatever you gotta do, it's kind of a pain. There's only really like 3 ways to get in and out of West Seattle. But what makes West Seattle great and convenient to live without a car is that everything you need is there. You have all the shops, the restaurants, the bars, the breweries, all that stuff right there. Alki Beach, Junction, all that, Fauntleroy, grocery shopping, everything you can think of is right there. So if you're blessed with the opportunity that you can work hybrid, it makes it really convenient and really easy just to stay in West Seattle. I always think of West Seattle as the Gold Coast of Seattle. It's got the most sandy beaches. It's got this, it just feels like something you might see in La Jolla or Southern California or something, with all these fish shacks and these different restaurants. When people think about West Seattle, they think of, Admiralty, they think of Junction, they think of Alki, right? But you can move a little further south and get yourself into Fauntleroy, and then even further south, you've got the White Center, which is its own. It's not, you're no longer in West Seattle, the West Seattle proper at that time. You're in a different neighborhood. And then just south of that is Burien. Surprisingly enough, and I'll give you this little tidbit, is that it is easier to get to downtown Seattle by public transit if you live in Burien than it is in West Seattle. But if you don't have to go to downtown Seattle and you love that kind of beachy vibe, West Seattle, the Gold Coast of Seattle, might be the spot for you. Number 3 on our countdown is Fremont, okay? So the things that I love about Fremont is that it's a smaller neighborhood. There's a bridge that goes across the cut over to Westlake and down into South Lake Union, and that's the highway west of I-5, and that takes you down. You can get to the airport. Like any reasonable person that lives in Seattle, that lives in Ballard or Fremont or Wallingford or anywhere on this northwest side would never, ever, ever in their life take I-5 to get to SeaTac, to get to the airport. You always take 99, 509. So we're in Fremont now, and again, Fremont, they call them, if you've seen our Fremont video, they call themselves the center of the universe. Part of the Burke-Gilman comes through, so if you're a cyclist and you want to be able to get access to the Burke-Gilman, it'll take you out through and even over to Redmond. The transit system here, because of the Fremont Bridge in Westlake, because of 99, and because of these roads that we have, the buses make it really, really convenient and easy to get to downtown. Now, once you do that, you could actually, from Fremont, you could take a bus over to UW and get on the light rail, or you could take a bus, probably faster, the express bus, the D line or something like that, take it down into Westlake and get on the light rail from there. And then that really speeds up your getting around town. The northwest side here of Seattle still isn't connected yet to light rail. It's on the books, it's coming, who knows when, they change the date all the time. But Fremont, the bars, some of the best bars, some of the best breweries, Fremont Brewing is here. Outlander's a really cool brewery that they brew all the beer in the basement of this old house that's on the main thoroughfare. Like, watch that Fremont video and you'll see all the different stuff that's here in Fremont, but it's really, really convenient and easy to get around. It's super walkable. It's like an 82 on the walk score. So if you're thinking about living without a car, most of the, Fremont is very renter friendly neighborhood too. So if you're moving from, East Coast or Louisville or wherever you're coming from, and you get out to Seattle and you're like, hey, I don't know what neighborhood I'm gonna feel safe in or where I should live in, I wanna be in the mix, Fremont is definitely top 3 suggestion on the list. Number 2 on the list is Ballard. I love Ballard. My whole life, I've talked about this in other videos, but I'll share it right now. When I grew up as a kid, there was a local TV show called Almost Live, and the host, his name was John Keister. And John started this show, Almost Live. It was hosted here in Seattle. You can think of it as like a local Saturday Night Live, and it's where Bill Nye the Science Guy, got his start. And they used to make fun of Ballard all the time in their show. Super worth it. Don't jump away now and look, but after you're done with the video, go look up Ballard Cops with Bill Nye, and you'll see some of the old skits from the 90s. So the reason I bring that up is because where I grew up, we were a fishing town, South Sound, Gig Harbor. It was a lot of Alaska fishermen. That was the town I grew up. Ballard was just a bigger version of that. A lot of things have changed. It's very, very much moved from, not the same amount of calluses in the neighborhood and a lot more keyboard, but that's just the way the neighborhood is. Some people are upset about it, other people aren't, whatever. It's a great neighborhood. Bars, shops, restaurants, bars and breweries. It used to be its own city, so the layout and setup is very different. It's very, very convenient, very, very easy to get around. I think the walk score on it is 85. Because again, we're on this northwest side, you've got access to express buses. It's like 15 minutes to the light rail, either at the Roosevelt station or the UW station. You can take a bus over there, whatever you need to do. It's really, really convenient and easy. And Ballard has some of the best neighborhoods: Sunset Hill, Loyal Heights, Whittier Heights. The Adams neighborhood is that downtown core, and then there's West Woodland, which is, and Gilman, which are a little bit closer to that brewery district of Ballard, that industrial district of Ballard. So when you think of, hey, where's a place where I can be in the mix, it's pretty family friendly, it's a little bit slower pace, it's not as congested or as, what's the word I'm looking for, as dense. The density is different than Capitol Hill. Ballard is top of the list. And over the years, Ballard has been one of the places that Seattle, they voted on, they came up with a plan, they said, hey, we want to see more people, because it's so convenient and easy access to downtown and all these things. We want to see more people, we want to increase the density in Ballard. So just like Fremont, what you'll see are some condo buildings, 1970s built. You won't see too many new condo buildings, but you'll find a ton of brand new luxury apartments. Really, really nice. Got the quartz countertops, all the cool guy stuff, all the updated finishes. But then you'll see a lot of craftsman's Tudors and this type of bungalow, Seattle bungalow, the 20s, 30s, 40s built houses. And then we are seeing a lot of townhouses come up, which is one of my favorite home types because it lets you live your life with a very low maintenance. You just move in and then you keep going to run club, you keep going sailing, you keep going rock climbing, you keep going hiking and backpacking, and you don't have an older home to maintain. Now that's not for everybody. We work with a lot of folks that have a real active lifestyle and they're juggling the romanticism of a Tudor home or a craftsman home against the practicality of a rooftop deck and modern finishes. But Ballard, insofar as living without a car, a lot of the new homes, they don't even have a place to park. You have street parking and all the corridors. If you look at the streets in Ballard and you'll see you have 8th, you have 15th, 24th, and 32nd. Those main north to south corridors all have really easy bus lines, really easy bus lines. If you live in Ballard and work in Westlake or South Lake Union, you can just take the D line, super easy and convenient. I've been accused of being verbose, that's for sure. Now guys, we are getting to the #1 neighborhood on the list, but before we do that, I want to give you a bonus. The bonus is Belltown. Belltown has it's close to downtown. It's just south of Pioneer Square. It's just north of South Lake Union. And it has this kind of, to me, a sterile feeling because it's high steel, it's condos, it's view property, it's beautifully done buildings, it's shops down on the main floor, it's outside of the downtown corridor, so it doesn't have the riffraff or the shopping or the weird stuff that happens downtown. Now 3rd Avenue is close. We always caution people that 3rd Avenue has been a problem. They're slowly cleaning it up, but high steel, beautiful views of Elliott Bay. You can see Alki, you can see Magnolia, you can see the Olympic Mountains. And the walk score in Belltown is something like 98. That's the score they give it. Yeah, 98 right there. The thing that you have to know about Belltown is you're really committing to that condo lifestyle, that high steel lifestyle, which is the least maintenance, right? Because you live in a building with an HOA and all you have to do is take the elevator to your unit and look at the beautiful views, right? So easy to get in and around Seattle downtown, take the bus, jump on the light rail, do all that stuff. You're right in the heart of it for the Christmas tree lighting at Westlake Center. Like, you've got such good access to everything right there, but it's a lifestyle choice. It's condos, right? It's a different vibe. You've got all the restaurants and most of the speakeasies, all the bars that don't have names, are in Belltown. The #1 on the list, if you couldn't guess, I'm sure you can, is Capitol Hill. It is the easiest place to live without a car because it's on the hill. It's right above downtown Seattle, South Lake Union. If you work in downtown or you work in South Lake Union, you could literally just coast your bike down the hill to work and you would be there. And you could just put your bike on the bus and have it take you back up the hill. So simple, so easy to get around. It has light rail, so north to south is really easy. We've almost got Bellevue connected so you can get to the east side. And then there's all the buses that come into downtown. So if you need to go to the airport, if you need to get downtown, if you just need to get a few blocks, First Hill or the International District, some people confuse and think that's all Capitol Hill, but you could start in First Hill and make your way all the way up north to the northern part of Capitol Hill, which starts to bleed into Eastlake and Montlake and all this stuff, or the University of Washington. Like, it is the most convenient to live without a car. It gives you all the shops, all the restaurants, all the fun bars. Even the garage is a super fun bar with a bowling, like a mini bowling alley. This place is wild. Like, all the hip, top of the hipness, the hip and the cool, the hep cats, all that stuff is in Capitol Hill. But for some folks, it's a little too dense and a little too loud and it's not their vibe. Plus, It's really kind of hard to park over there. Like, I leave sometimes to meet people 20 minutes, 30 minutes early just so I can find parking. So that is it, folks. That's the top 5 places in Seattle to live without a car. Hope you got a kick out of this video. I hope it was super helpful. And if you need anything, all the contact info is down below. We're helping people move to Seattle and make the move in and around town all the time. We'd love to work with you too. Everybody that's reached out to us has been absolutely awesome, and look forward to connecting with you soon. All right, talk to you.